The rest of the story. "Blast it," muttered Lewis, squinting into the gray winter storm from a rain-streaked window in the Lime Rock lighthouse. It was a ship, all right. It was a warship from the looks of her murky silhouette, and she was foundering in the angry waves and the screaming winds off Newport. "Blast it," muttered Lewis again. The doomed vessel was more than a half-mile away, which meant the lighthouse keeper probably could not reach her in time. But dismal odds had never stopped Lewis before, and they would not today. And so, leaning into the howling gale, the intrepid sentinel of Rhode Island Sound struggled across Lime Rock to the wildly pitching skiff moored there. Off came the line, aboard came the oars, and out into the dark madness Lewis rowed. The waves were rising higher now, like mountains of icy water tumbling after one another. No way to stay on course for lack of any visible destination. But the keeper knew these waters like a schooner's rigging, by feel as much as by sight. And so, up and over the endless water mountains, Lewis pulled, biting the oars into the brine for the back-aching, timeless time, until suddenly, a whale's length away, a head appeared above the surface, and then another, 2 men in the Atlantic's deadly embrace. But they were alive. Seeing the skiff, the pathetic figures thrashed about, although their cries were crushed beneath the captor's roar. Lewis rowed in close, pulled one aboard and then the other, prowled the raging ocean for half an hour more before returning to shore. 2 survivors, not enough, Lewis thought. But the seamen who roamed those waters knew the rest of the story. That the valiant, vigilant keeper of Lime Rock Lighthouse had rescued more shipwrecked victims than any old salt in the history of Rhode Island Sound. Among the more notable reclamations from Neptune's lair were 4 young boys in 1859, and 3 Irish shepherds, and one of their prize-winning sheep. That was in 1867. 22 daring rescues throughout Lewis's incomparable career, which began at the age of 17. So famous did Lewis eventually become that in 1870 admiring tourists were rowing out to Lime Rock by the hundreds, hoping for a glimpse of the living legend. But living legends must die one day. And so one night, in the quiet of Lime Rock Lighthouse, this one did. "If there were some people out there who needed my help," the celebrated sentinel had once said, "I would go to them even if I knew I couldn't get back." So just maybe out there, somewhere, in an ocean of clouds between us and Evermore, an angel stands waving wayfarers clear of the rocks and on toward the shining shore. A keeper of the lamp, sometimes scorned by landlubbers for behavior unbecoming the fairer gender. For you see, the lifelong savior of all those big, strong men of the sea happened to be a shy, slight woman named Ida Lewis. And now you know the rest of the story.